Hi, everyone. We're on Advent week 4, which is the theme of joy. So, myself, Julia Baginski, the ministerial intern at Unity of Fort Pierce, along with Reverend Janice Cary, the minister, are on our final week of our Advent walk. I can't believe it.
Yeah, yeah, it's gone fast.
Very fast. And Christmas is the end of the week of joy.
Yes.
Gone too fast. I feel like this is the part where we're reminded to really slow down and just savor every moment. And that's a lot of the advice that comes in our Christmas to Remember booklet.
Exactly, exactly. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes you have to live a little in order to recognize that it's about the journey, not about getting anywhere. It's about,
Hmm.
you know, it's literally enjoying wrapping those presents, all of them,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a
and
great perspective.
yeah. And what I hear sometimes is when people start getting overtired, or they say something and they start getting resentful about the amount of work they're doing. It's they've left that realm of joy. And we got to remember what we're doing is for us.
Yeah.
We got
I
to love what we're doing.
I was thinking about this when we were at our board dinner.
Uh-huh.
And there was a conversation about, Santa Claus and kind of like what age do kids kind of start questioning, is Santa real? And I started thinking about how connected to joy the whole Santa Claus energy is, because it's so much about taking away, even as a parent who gets gifts for their child or whatever it is, it's you take away that they're going to appreciate you for it, or just anything like, oh, this came from my mom. It takes you completely out of the equation so that you can just see the joy on their face. And it's
Right.
just, and it's just joy. It's just joy. It's not, oh, wow, or how'd you get, all of
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff goes away. And at the end of the day, it's just like seeing the joy on their faces.
Right. That's an excellent, wonderful perspective to have. It's gifting anonymously.
Right, right. It allows us to gift
Yeah,
anonymously.
yeah,
Exactly.
it is, and exactly, and the moment that we give something, the moment we give a gift, is the very moment we've received it.
Yeah.
We've received the gratitude for it. We actually have. The moment we've given it, we've already received it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Whether that person likes what they got or not. Wasn't it hilarious with our gift exchange, that white elephant? And
Yeah.
I think those are so fun.
Everyone walks away with something they like at those.
Exactly. That to me was very joyful,
It was
very
joyful.
joyful.
Yeah.
And, it didn't have to be real expensive. It was just, you know, what I bought was, I bought something that I would like.
Hmm.
And I think everybody buys something that they would like.
Hmm.
And then it's all good.
Yeah. There's
Uh,
so many ways to, create joy.
yeah.
And, the especially getting into, some of the reading for the week out of the booklet. You
Yes.
know, there's so much of the Christmas magic, and on the first one, December 19th, it's Reverend Teresa. This is probably my favorite one of the whole week. And she said, Christmas would fill me up with joy as a child, but then I grew up. And it's like a line all by itself there. And then I grew up, and I drew like a sad face next to it. And then she starts talking about being in those activities and obligations and feeling like you're going through the motions and, basically being very, get mindless, going through the
Yes,
motions and not being present to what's going on and feeling like it's frantic and a race to the finish. And, how that energy is when you're describing that, because it's in this context, it's like if you're feeling that, like that's almost like the opposite of joy.
yes. And you know what's an interesting thing about this is, remember when Jesus said, "You, it's the kingdom of heaven is for the children. Let the children come unto me, because it is for them the children of the kingdom of heaven is for." We have to become like a child again.
Mhm.
Not childish. Actually, childish is becoming too exhausted,
Yeah.
thinking we're doing it all. But to become like a child again, to me, is to be back into the joy of the
Yeah.
experience. Um,
Right. And that energy of receiving and being open and like, what is my gift on Christmas and every day? It's just like now we're in that time, but it's what is my gift that I get to open within myself.
right,
And it is a miracle. It is joy, and it's not anything I've received from anyone. That's why I love the Santa Claus in that context, because this is the gift that no one can give me, that I can't get from anywhere. It's my gift, right? It's
I like it.
yeah.
I
Well,
remember when my daughter was very young, she must have been about 18 months. And we were at a Christmas party, and Santa Claus was there. And it was a little community party that a club that my parents belonged to, the Commonwealth Club. And all the kids were there waiting to be called up for Santa. And Jill, my Jill was the last one. And I saw her, she was so tiny in her little green velvet dress, just waiting with big eyes and just waiting. And she was the only one on the floor. It was like, it just is seared in my mind. And then finally they called her name. She went and
aw,
got the gift. But just to watch that anticipation as she was holding herself and to wait for her name to be called.
that's so cute.
It is. And such joy was in watching that anticipation.
Anticipation. Yeah.
Yeah. Anticipation can be joyful.
Because she knows something great is about to.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. I don't remember at all what the gift was, but the
Yeah.
experience of it is
Yeah.
brings us the joy, not the gift itself.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And how many times is the anticipation better than what actually happens, which brings us back to the journeys where it's at.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, well, okay. So this is a little deeper. I wanted to really talk to you about this one with the Reverend Teresa. I'm still on this Monday, the
Okay.
19th, because I think there's a really amazing distinction that she brings up in here. And it's, um, she said that surprisingly, staying present to that which annoyed or frustrated me, the long lines in stores, the delays at the airports, the botched recipes, sometimes made me temporarily unhappy, but no longer robbed me of my joy. So, how can we see joy as something that is part of the immovable, unchangeable, even when we have the minor temporary unhappiness, things that happen?
Well, thinking about long lines, where else do we need to be?
Hmm.
Thinking about traffic, where else, you know, we're going to be there eventually.
Yeah.
But we rob ourselves of the joy when we think we have to hurry up.
It's
When,
like joy is the natural state,
yeah,
right? Like for me, that's where everyone wants, that's where we want to be. So it's not, I think even like when you want to, whatever it is you want in your life, almost like thinking back to that first week of peace, that, whatever thing you think you want to have in your life isn't really what you want. You want peace. You want joy, you know? But
Yeah, you know
that's
what?
the crazy thing is that's already there. We've just kind of forgotten how to access it sometimes when we lose ourselves to those moments.
Right. And joy is like a deep joy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
joy isn't necessarily jump up and down, all excitement. Joy
Correct.
is a rather deep knowing. And as we watch the world and as we watch people engage in their activities and putting up their decorations and doing whatever it is they're doing, joy is knowing that we're part of it all. You know, we're part of this. We are part of the one life. We are an expression of the one life. And oh, how joyful that is to know, you know,
That's
calm.
it. I think that in this space, joy is not synonymous for happy even.
Not even, no, no, you can be unhappy and also joyful, I believe, filled with
That's
joy.
the thing.
Yeah.
That's what I think looking at this more deeply, that's what I wanted to talk
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. It's kind of like you can be, put it this way, you can be disappointed in an event and be so filled with joy of the awareness of presence.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That's good. That's great. And that, of course, then this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Well, it's not be glad for the bike.
Yeah. Yeah, like that really um very intense like contentment
Yes,
is what I
yeah.
get, that wow, just take a deep breath and that kind
Joy
of
is
joy.
very calming, actually.
Mhm.
You know, it's rooted and grounded in gratitude.
Mhm.
You know, I think it's a offspring of gratitude, or
I
it
do
comes from
too.
gratitude. Yeah, right. So,
I love it. What
so
about some other things that stood out to me through this week? On the 20th, Reverend Deanne really connects joy to the true light is each of us right
within.
now. Hmm. And
Hmm.
the scripture is the true light from John, which I loved. And our being our true self so that we can shine our divine light and share our joy.
Mm. I like where it
Mm.
says in the scripture, and the world came into being through him, through being through the true light. Because when we're in our joy, right? When we're in our Christ, when we're centered, we can see the true world, the natural world, rather than the opinions about it and the
Yes. And
conflicts.
yes, I love that you said that. And the scripture that you're talking about is perfect for that because it also lands for me that joy is very creative. And wow,
Yeah.
we're on the fourth week of Advent. What are we giving birth to creatively, right? That joy does have that energy of that is the vehicle for expressing our light.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it does have that push, that energy of moving, birthing and creating.
I think real joy really can come to when we can be
Hmm.
with life, and life cannot be pushed or
Hmm.
pulled. Do you know what I mean? It's kind
Allowed,
of like
allowed.
it has to be allowed
Yes.
to unfold. We have to, when you actually give birth, it has to be allowed. you know, there's no rushing this. Of course, you can intervene medically, I understand, but um,
Right.
for the most part, you have to allow it to unfold, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think there's joy in when we can accept every chapter of our life. no matter what's happening. Every stage of our life when there's something to be joyful and appreciative about.
And it's almost like, how can you not accept? You know what I mean? Like, what does that
Well,
look like? Because life still happens. So outwardly, it's going to look exactly the same whether we are in joy and acceptance or not. It's just
gonna happen. Right,
how are we
right,
doing it? How are we in the flow? How are we working with life?
right, right, right. So I think, and then on Tuesday, they were talking about ornaments,
Oh,
and
yes, where she threw them all away.
yeah, yeah, and
It's a
then
good
and then she went
story.
on ABA and bought another one similar, which is funny because that's kind of something that I just did was I gave a bunch of the beautiful ornaments that I had to my granddaughter Eden because they put up a big tree and we're doing a little bit different stuff at this point, and I am so joyful and glad that she saw those ornaments and wanted them and thought they were so pretty. So for me, it's like, I am really happy that those ornaments have been, are continuing
Passed
to
on.
decorate,
Yeah,
passed on.
that's really nice.
And my other granddaughters, a month or so ago, I gave them some rings that I had, and I don't wear them anymore because I have other things, and they love them. So
Aw,
I like the idea of passing them on, you know, to someone who's going to really use them and appreciate them. And that has brought me joy to know that I loved those Christmas ornaments. I really did. And I'm not putting a tree up for them, but
so funny.
I'm going to see them when I
It's
go to Stevens.
all the memories. I mean,
Yeah.
for anything else, like, I really don't like holding on to things. I will donate and get rid of stuff all the time. And if I feel like I'm a little attached to something, I just take a picture of it before it goes.
Okay, that's good.
So I have
Yeah.
a memory of it in a picture. But ornaments, I have ornaments that are older than me that like my mom got when she was a teenager. That's like something else. And I have them all, but I don't put up every single one every year. I kind of try to
Mhm.
change it up because I'm such an ornament packer. I have too many to put on the tree. But
Right.
those are the
Right.
ones that I keep. So I could relate to this where, she kind of said, well, I kind of had my regrets when I got rid of all the ornaments. And then she remembered one specific one and went on
Right.
eBay and had to find it. It was just a silly little cardboard thing and bought, the exact same type of style that she wanted to bring back for her, for all her childhood memories. And that's okay. And I love that. That is very awesome and cool human thing to do because it's like you don't have to be all detached from everything all the time. And you don't have to be like, okay, I should be okay with not having it. You can have your things. It's
Right.
okay.
It's really funny because when my family comes to visit me, I have all the pictures, old pictures. I have pictures back to the 1800s.
Oh,
I've
wow.
kept them. I've kept them, and they're in albums that are. Some of them are pretty getting a bit ragged at this point, But they come and they take pictures of them,
Oh,
which
yeah.
which is really good. So, and one of I think my nephew said, "I love the way you've kept these pictures," Janice, which was really nice.
Yeah.
So I've
Great
kept those
memories.
are real keepsakes for me is the pictures, the photographs.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are great memories. And they fill us with joy
Yeah.
or allow us to access our joy.
Right. Right.
Say it in oneness language.
And
Inspires us to access our joy
exactly.
because
And
the
I
thing
like
doesn't
this.
fill us.
And how do we fill ourselves with joy, which is what Wednesday is about. And it says, take a moment and write the word joy. You know,
Fun.
write the word joy.
And
Whether it's,
imagine sparkles around it.
I know that's what I do. And as I was thinking about that, it says on here, do it some stars or sparkles.
Yes.
Focus on that short word joy. Feel the magic, and what does it evoke a memory. And we're reminded of, I don't know if you remember these. Do you remember the cartoons, the Teletubbies?
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself, all right, joy in the middle of my tummy to
They
walk
didn't
around
talk,
with.
did they?
Sorry, I don't
Those
remember
were
if
the ones
they
that didn't
talked or
talk.
not.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I just I'm thinking, all right, I got to think of joy being in the middle of my abdomen,
Yeah.
like the Teletubbies walked around. And it's kind of like when you say joy, it's a form of asking and you receive it. I choose joy. I claim joy. I choose joy. And I can do that because I can remember that I'm connected to everything. I'm connected to everything. So my connection to joy is everywhere if I choose it.
Yeah.
But again, that's about the mind and what is
That's your
the mind.
intention.
Exactly.
Being very mindful about looking for and finding joy.
Right, right. And so when we can have joy within us, like, right joy within us, then it's time to play because we want to. We want to play. We want to go ride our bike. We want to. We feel like it.
Right.
And that's the importance, I feel, of the joy songs that we sing. The joy songs become worms in your ear a little bit, earworms, these tunes, the uni tunes, and they lift us above the negativity that the world can, if we fall into. That's what Myrtle Fillmore used to say, is she used affirmations to lift her above any, the negation. And that's what we need, to be lifted, to not fall into all the stories.
Yes. I love the affirmations in here too. That was really neat. This was actually very good. I liked the practices because she went through and said, set the intention for joy,
Mm-hmm.
writing the word, and then
Right?
she gave us the 3 affirmations. So for anyone who really connects with like, I want to just tell me what to do, Wednesday is great. Give me
Spirit
some
through me.
practices. Okay, they're in Wednesday because
Yeah.
she really
Yeah.
got very specific and with her affirmations. And the last affirmation, it's just spirit through me spreads joy. I make a difference in the world.
And
Just by being me.
right. And people want to know they make a difference. They
Mhm.
really want to know they make a difference.
Mhm.
That's part of, we want to be a contribution and have our life.
We do. I don't remember where I read this, but I read that each soul reaches 70 and affects 70,000 other souls
Oh,
during a
really?
lifetime. During a
Wow.
lifetime. So just think like, I don't know if I've talked to 70,000 people, but your energy carries on and affects that many people while you're here on earth. So it's like,
Yeah.
are you being that to express and spread joy? So
Are you
when you know
being that
that you
light?
affect that many people, it helps you have that good intention.
Right. And then on Thursday, I like Thursdays, it's we get to, let's see, may this be a special time in which you accept that your true purpose in life. May this be a special time in which you accept that your true purpose in life is joy. That's
That's
our
really
true
big.
purpose. I
Yeah,
like that.
I do too.
And then it says on the second paragraph, when you tune in to your divine center, you can narrate your happily ever after. See, I like that, for us to understand that we write our own story. We co-write our own, or we co-create our own experiences. We write our own story, and we can choose joy. Doesn't mean things won't happen that aren't sad. But once again, sad things are not talking about joy. You can still be in joy and appreciation and gratitude. And I can hear joy in either my voice or in someone else's. And it's very contagious.
Yeah.
So is pessimism. I choose joy.
Right.
I choose to see the joy. So joy becomes apparent then in my awareness when I imagine myself in joy, when I use my imagination. And like it says in here, you shall go out in joy, and the hills, which is in the scripture, for you shall go out in joy and be led back in peace. The mountains and hills before you shall burst forth in song, and all the trees of the fields shall clap their hands. If that's not joy.
I think that's so comforting. I mean, I can't, I know that there are people who struggle this time of year.
Yeah.
I get that. And this is such a comfort in this Thursday with Veronica's message here. And that scripture is perfect. I feel that that scripture is so comforting. And the way she wraps this is, forget fear, surrender struggle.
Mhm.
Remember that you deserve to be happy and enjoy a continuous flow of eternal joy. What's joy? Eternal. It's part of the eternal, divine, immovable, unchangeable aspect of ourselves. So, whatever struggle, whatever outer appearance we're clashing up against, know that that is not your natural state. Your natural state is joy, and you are worthy of experiencing a life that reflects that.
Right.
Worthy, like deeply worthy of this kind of joy. So, to me, this was like, oh, this speaks to that the blues. I think sometimes people go through the blues this time of year, which could be very deep, it could be
Yeah.
small, but
Yeah.
that's a comfort. That is a comfort. We're made of joy.
And unity is practical spirituality, practical Christianity, and we're here to help people be lifted,
Yeah.
to lift people. And of course, it's being human. We are going to experience sadness, and we're going to experience everything that is part of the human spectrum.
Yeah.
But we don't have to stay in that valley. We have this presence, this awareness with us, and that helps us carry on to come back,
Mhm.
and to rejoin life again,
Yeah,
to be
absolutely.
one with life again. Yeah. So we want to be mindful of people who are struggling, and the way we can be mindful is to help lift them
Hmm.
by being kind, compassionate, generous, and doing what is ours to do, right with who and where we are, who we're with, right?
Yeah.
Um, we're our purpose is to walk in joy. That's one of our
Yeah.
purposes. Yeah. So yeah.
I love it.
So then we move to Christmas Eve, Friday. I can't remember a more joyful time, and scary, and um, you know, challenging, was when my children were born, but joyful at the end, joyful,
Yes. Right.
incredible, that I was very, very grateful. That's why I always think joy and gratefulness, gratitude are kind of,
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know, synonymous.
Yeah.
But another one was the joy of being accepted into ministry.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
joy of that, the joy of being hired at Unity and being here for the last 18 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
The joy of that. You know, the
Yeah.
joy of creating intentionally a lovely dinner. I've taken out what we're having for dinner tonight. I mean, I see people, take pictures of their food and
Yeah.
post it. That's joyful to me.
Yeah.
It's a joy. It's an experience of joy.
It's almost like when that inner joy, you have those glimpses of like your outer world matching up with like true inner joy. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yes, yes. And the joy of seeing, even if it's on Zoom, my family and friends.
yeah,
I get
right.
like, oh, yay, I get to see them.
Yeah.
But in the midst of joy, we can be in sorrow. There can be sorrow. But the thing about sorrow is there can't be joy without sorrow, and there can't be sorrow without joy. It's part of the human experience, and that we are learning to see underneath it all,
Yeah, very
to the
true.
light of who we are, to the Christ light of who we are.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, I have such incredible memories of my brother who
Hmm.
died very young. He died
Hmm.
at 38. Such a sad experience. I remember my nephew said, when he was just 2 years old when my brother died. And he said, my daddy's with the moon. And when I see
Aw.
him this day, today, he looks just like him. So the joy and the sorrow, it's part of it. It's part of it. It's the same coin. It's the same coin. But I'm so grateful that he's here, and I'm grateful my niece is here. You know, and they wouldn't have been without my brother having been
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
So I I like the way people can understand. You never forget. You never forget, but you learn to remember the joy and the incredible gifts their life were. I think of that with my mom, and of course I think of my dad these
Me
days.
too.
You know,
Yeah.
and life is it goes by so fast, but I don't know that we understand that when we're young.
Goes faster
Yeah,
as you get older.
yeah, yeah. But I
I
know that when we
really think, it's for a child who's only been alive for 9 years, a month is like an eternity because what do they have to compare it to?
yes,
Like
yes,
it's like, oh my God, in relation to how long they've been alive, it is a long time. But as you get
right,
older, it's like, oh, we'll do it next year. It's fine.
yeah. And that's
Okay.
just a chapter. That's just our chapters of life, isn't it?
It
And
really is. Yeah.
it's just our chapters. But
Yeah.
when we can touch that stillness, as in Christmas Eve, the Christness of our being. In fact, I like saying the Christmas of my being.
The Christmas of my being. Yeah,
The
that's a
Christmas,
really great use of that word.
yeah,
That
the
is
Christmas,
truly what it points
yeah,
to. Yes.
yeah. It's the
Yep.
Christmas of my being. We know that
Mhm.
life and love and presence is eternal. So I love my mom today as much as she was when she was here. If,
Right.
if
Me
possible,
too.
more. I don't know. You
I
know.
feel like, yeah, I feel like I still have a relationship with my mom, even though she has made her transition, and I still have a she's a huge part of my life.
Yes,
I mean, like
she's
some
in
people
the.
don't understand that at all, but she is definitely part of my life. And I
I
have that
hear my mom.
relationship. Oh,
I hear
yeah.
my mom in my voice. I
Yeah.
hear her. I see her in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Definitely.
I see some um, idiosyncrasies of my dad.
Yeah.
I can hear myself whenever I say, "See how you are." It's my brother speaking.
Mm.
That was what he used to say. See how you are. It becomes they are written on our heart.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I love about this Christmas Eve writing from Kelly Isola. Um, and I thank my God every time I remember you. This
Yeah.
is from Philippians.
Yeah.
Constantly praying with joy in every one of my prayers for all of you. And I do that. When I pray, when I sit down and really contemplate and am in gratitude. I give thanks for everyone that I know, in Unity of Fort Pierce,
Right.
all those, everyone that I am blessed to be in communion with, in community with. I give thanks for that, past, present, and
Yeah.
I know all is well. So I like to pause to remember those I've loved. I really do.
Yeah. I love that. Perfect scripture. And it connects joy back to gratitude, which you've been saying this whole time. There it
Yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah.
really, truly being so grateful for, I mean, we're such relationship people. I know you in that way, that's brings a lot of gratitude for you in your life and me in mine too. So that's always something that inspires gratitude for me is relationships and people.
And so we think about this Advent walk, and there's faith, peace, love, and joy. And I think of them as the four cornerstones to build the capacity, a consciousness that has the capacity to walk in the world and be a light, and to be there and to engage um, with life and have a direct relationship with life, not coming from our thinking how things should be, the concepts. And that takes the work to be with life as it is and find the faith, the peace, the love, and the joy in it,
Yeah.
you know, to hold us as we walk in
That
the
is
world.
so beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Being with life,
Right. Kind of like
being
portal
present to
bloom.
it.
Right.
So you build your little manger with the four corners, right?
Exactly. I like back to Teletubbies. Now we have a manger
Yeah.
because the
That's what
manger,
when you said that, that's what I pictured. I was like picturing the manger being
right,
built.
right. And the manger is kind of really what we've said is the manger of our heart, because
Yeah.
or it could be the altar. But I like the idea of here's the manger. We are the manger, right? This is the altar of the heart, and all of the feelings that we have. Sometimes we have unruly ones that are, those little goats.
Yes.
And then we have just, bland thoughts that are little sheep, you know, just
Yeah.
we can metaphysicalize all of it,
Right.
which is what's so fun.
Well, I think this is perfect. I think this is the perfect uh, way to set up for our awareness of our Christmas within us,
Yes, for the
especially
upcoming.
on that four corners. I love it how it all comes together. It always does, but you
Yes.
said it beautifully.
Oh, thank you. The four corners of our consciousness, our building blocks. Yes.
So, what do you
Building
think? Should
blocks.
we? Oh, yeah, the building blocks,
Mhm. Of a stable consciousness.
the stable. Another one. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
should we thank everyone for who made it this far with us?
I'm grateful for those who have tuned in, and I pray that you've heard things that you can take even deeper into knowing the light that you are, that each one of us are, that we're eternally the beloved of God, that we are the sons and the daughters of the Most High. We are the Christ, the light. We are the expressions of love, and
Yeah,
that's all there is.
beautiful. So, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you.